I'm on my way walking from Hongdae to Shinchon. It takes about 5 to 10 minutes walk from here to Shinchon, and today's video is going to be on Shinchon. Is an area where a lot of colleges located once it was really hot. I sort of explained that area in our video on the northwest side of Seoul. And let's go to Shinchon then. Shinchon literally means new town, and there are about 8 to 9 areas just in Seoul that's called Shinchon. But if you ask Koreans where Shinchon is, this area will immediately come to people's mind. Shinchon located right next to Yeonidong on the northwestern side of Seoul. For more information about northwestern side of Seoul, check out our video on northwestern side of Seoul by clicking the link above. This area was named Shinchon in the Joseon dynasty because people that moved out of Seoul, which was then called Hansong, settled in this area. So this area was located just outside Seoul or Hansong's city wall. The area was called Shinchon since the 19th century. But Shinchon became really famous and a place for young people to visit since the 1970s. There are 4 major universities around Shinchon: Yonsei University, Women's University, Seoul University, and Hongik University. These are the roads that lead to each universities. You'll reach Yonsei University by that road, Women's University by that road, Seoul University by that road, and Hongik University by that road. They're all about 5 to 10 minutes away by bus ride from here. There were a lot of protests against dictatorship back then, and the protests were led by university students. So areas with a lot of university became a place where young people gathered a lot. The area commonly called Shinchon refers to the area located in front of Yonsei University. Shinchon was the area for culture until the 1990s, but less people started to visit the area after the portion of the so-called university culture in Korea has somewhat faded away. I personally think the economic crisis in 1997 played a big role in that because university students became more focused on finding jobs and making money rather than the cultural aspect after experiencing the economic crisis. There were a lot of coffee shops that played contemporary music, and a lot of young people used to hang around in those coffee shops. There's a place that captures the memories of the time when Shinchon used to be the center of Korea's culture. A coffee shop, Minerva. It's located in the center of Shinchon, but it may not be very easy to find, so this is where it's located. Minerva was designated as Seoul's cultural asset. The entrance of the coffee shop shows how old this place is because there aren't steep stairs like this in newly built buildings in Seoul anymore. When you literally climb up the stairs, you'll see a coffee shop that brings you back to the 1970s. It has a very warm and cozy kind of feeling. Not a lot of Koreans drank freshly brewed coffees until Starbucks came into Korea in 1999. Most Koreans drank packed instant coffees. But this place is and was famous for coffee brewed from percolators. That shows how hip this place used to be in the 1980s and the 1990s. They only sold coffee brewed from percolators until about 10 years ago, but they now sell a lot of different kinds of drinks and coffees. But I always drink coffee brewed from percolators when I come here. It's still visited by a lot of people, as you can see. And there aren't a lot of places in Seoul where you can see coffee brewed from percolators anymore, so this might be a good place for you to visit, if you're a coffee lover. Now back to Shinchon. I'm in Shinchon right now. This is actually an area where I used to hang out a lot when I was in college or university undergraduate years. But this area changed a lot. I mean, not a lot of people come out here
to hang out anymore. And I mean, it probably has to do with coronavirus situation, but it's really empty. It's emptier than I expected it to be. So, but still, there are a lot of people that visit this area, especially the college students. So it's more like a college town these days than an area where a lot of Korean people come out to hang out. And there are a lot of memories for me here because I used to drink. I used to go out with a lot of my friends, and I haven't been to Shinchon for quite a while, and it's nice to be back.
Yonsei University, located right next to Shinchon or in Shinchon, is one of the top 3 universities in Korea. It was founded by Christian missionaries in 1886, and some of the missionaries that played a role in foundation of Yonsei University were buried in the cemetery that we introduced in the Hapjeong episode. Check out the video on the link above if you want to know more about the area.
This is Amphitheatre of Yonsei University. This place is really empty right now, but this place is used a lot, at least twice a year, because we hold an event called Akaraka. And that's like a cheering kind of festival in the spring usually, but I don't think it was held this spring because of the coronavirus. But this whole place gets filled with students or graduates that wearing blue shirts. I hope I can find a picture of Akaraka being held here. And we have a Yonsei Korea University competition in fall, and they come here, practice for cheering, for the games, for the so this is a place for me with a lot of memories. I'm walking on the woods in Yonsei University inside the campus called Cheongsongdae. I used to come out here to relax a lot because it's right next to the social science department. Personally, the best thing about Yonsei University was that it has a lot of history, both during the Japanese annexation era and the democratization process of Korea. And the campus has a very peaceful kind of feeling, and as you can see, it has a lot of greens. And I personally like the really old buildings, old Yonsei University buildings, because it's, I don't know why, but when I take classes in this old stone buildings, it feels more relaxed, a little more peaceful perhaps. I think Yonsei University has taught me a lot of things. I've grown a lot, and it definitely influenced on what I value and what I pursue in my life. So I try to be objective when I make videos on Seoul and Korea, but this is one place where I can't be objective because I have to be subjective because it's personally a place that I love a lot. It's definitely one of my favorite places in Seoul. It's a pretty good place to relax, and there are a lot of facts that you can find out about Seoul and the history of Korea. So I really suggest that you come to Yonsei University and visit the campus. It's worth it.
Ewha Women's University was also founded by Christian missionaries. The university is visited by tourists a lot because of this architecture. That's why they have a lot of signs in the campus asking people to stay quiet. There are libraries and theaters beyond those glasses, or so I've heard. I've never really had a chance to visit the place, and I didn't really want to go into the building because it's a very sensitive time because of the coronavirus situation in Korea. The old Shinchon Station, where the Gyeonggi line used to pass all the way from Hongdae to the northern part of the Korean peninsula, which is now North Korea, is located near Ewha Women's University. And there's this huge department store, which has been empty for several years. It's known to have been acquired by SM Entertainment. So I'm guessing they'll do something cultural with that building. They probably acquired the building because Ide-gu, or area in front of Ide, was once famous for clothes and shopping places, but we can find a lot of empty stores in Ide-gu these days. The Shinchon area in general has been hit by gentrification. Will it recover its old glories as the cultural center of Seoul? There are a lot of attempts to do that, but it's not very successful. Not until now, at least.